Honesty is something that must be promised with education, and that's why there is a term academic honesty. But there is another very popular term, academic fraud, and it comes in handy when we see in today's time that people are so curious and so exuberant just to improve their academic statistics. So academic fraud comes into picture when we usually see that what sort of different practices which are not considered to be ethical are used to improve the kind of statistics. So here in this particular video, we are going to have a look onto this particular topic only, and we are going to see some of the basic concepts related to it. So let's start. Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to specifically focus on academic fraud. I'm landed on the science director side, you can see over here, and under the social science, there is a academic fraud topic. Here in academic fraud, they have defined that it is related to academic honesty, obviously, and there is a need for the subject case-driven approach for a plagiarism education because plagiarism is considered to be one of the academic fraud. Then the creation and dissemination of the information, the right sort of information, and the ethical issues for the students of criminal justice. These are the sort of some of the related topics as well as the articles. And then they thinking the plagiarism in information literacy structure and the UNESCO's role in the development of higher education, globalized world, etc., etc. There are a number of articles over here. So if you are interested, you can go here. You will find a lot more information based on the ethical education as well as the academic ethics. Now let's close it and we move on to the University of Virginia site, which offers a dedicated blog kind of article on their website. And here you can see they define that what is academic fraud. So they say that some of the things which are not the part of honor code, which are supposed to be in the usual academic process. So that's why if there are some processes of cheating or some processes of unethical behavior in academics, those are considered to be academic fraud. So here they have defined that, for example, one is plagiarism. Plagiarism means that when you are taking somebody's data and you are not giving them due credit, you are not even citing them, you are just taking the ideas or the data from someone and you are publishing under your name, then that's a plagiarism. Serious academic fraud. Then there is second, multiple submissions. Multiple submissions, it does come under the academic fraud because you are giving your manuscript or your data to multiple venues for publishing. And suppose your data or your manuscript gets accepted by two or more venues, then again, there is a possibility that you will deny one of the venue just by giving some of the naive reasons that we don't want to publish here or we want to extend it or something like that. But point is that giving your manuscript to multiple venues for publication in itself is a kind of academic fraud. Why? Because you are wasting the time of the peer reviewers, you are wasting the time of the honorable editorship, and there are different sorts of people who are devoting their time just to review your manuscript. So that's considered academic fraud. Then moving on to the false citations. False citations means the work which is not related to your work or the some existing works which are not even contributing directly or indirectly to your work and you are citing them just to increase your citations. Then these sort of practices come under false citation, which is a considerable academic fraud. Then next is false data. False data means some of the data which are just forced to produce the kind of statistics, and those data are provided just to improve the kind of credibility of your work. These sort of things also come under the academic fraud category. Next, we have the internet resources. Internet resources, it's not wrong to cite the internet resources, but when you are taking the internet resources work, then you should give them the due credit. Additionally, you should also see and show the others people that these sort of internet sources are credible enough. For example, I am at the University of Virginia site. University of Virginia is a well-known university around the world. So that's why if you are taking some data or some statistics from the site, it is considered kind of as a authentic one or the legitimate one. But if you are taking from a blog site or from some random blogger website, then obviously it might not be credible enough. So that's why when you are taking the internet resources data, you need to see all those sort of things. If you are not giving the due credit, means you are not citing the internet sources and you are just taking the data, then it's obviously academic fraud. Moving further, we land on to the UNESCO side. UNESCO says that there are a number of challenges, there are a number of different sorts of possibilities which may come in future with respect to academic fraud. So there are some of the suggestions, means some of the guidelines which are given to have the sort of countering of this academic fraud. So here, first one is that there is a need to regulate the market with transparent criteria. It means the criteria should be defined in very well versed manner, that how to say whether a work is a plagiarized or whether a work is the kind of academic fraud work or not. Second one is reducing the risk of conflict of interest. Conflict of interest guidelines must be crystal clear that which particular work is or the specific manuscript that is under focus, whether it is following the specific guidelines of conflict of interest or not. So these sort of things must be very clear. Third one is the developing standards and code of conduct of academic integrity. When we say that academic integrity, then very, very vague term, because everyone defines their integrity in their own terms. So there should be some standard codes of conduct, and then you can achieve the academic integrity. But still, it is a very tough task. Using more effective and transparent management tools, because when you come into the huge pool of data and the information, even the academic domain, in the academic domain, you have lot more papers, lot more thesis, then there should be a well managed set of tools which might be useful to just manage this huge pool of data of doesn't matter whether it's paper, thesis, journals, blogs, etc., etc. Okay. Then moving further, then facilitating the public access to information is a very, very important point, because people do use the false sort of information because they don't have the access to the right sort of information. That's why so many people always oppose this restricted kind of access to academic journals. They always say that everything must be open access, and there should be some other sort of policies or other sort of methods suggested to monetize this sort of data or whatsoever they have. So there is a war, there is a kind of a ideology war between different people, and usually these sort of debates also go on in academic corridors, so that the access to the scientific articles must be public or not. Last but not the least, that establishing and using the awareness indicators like the red flags, means there should be some academic indicators like red flags with respect to different journals, articles, blogs, etc., which will show that whether a particular work is credible enough or not. If the credible, then what sort of credibility is there? What are the sort of things which should be additionally added or taken into consideration before considering it as authentic work? So these are some of the guidelines provided by UNESCO, and hopefully these sort of guidelines must have given you some sort of insight with respect to academic fraud and academic integrity. So that's all from my side for this particular video. Hopefully you must have liked it. If you didn't like it, please do comment below and let me know what are the sort of shortcomings in this particular video. I will definitely consider and incorporate them to improve the quality of future videos. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.